melody of my soul, the melody of my mind, the language of my being, the melody of my soul, Hi everyone, how are you? Trust you're keeping well, and welcome back to our YouTube channel just now. Okay, so today, unlike any video we had done in the past or I have done in the past, so today I'm shooting a get to know me video. And why is that even important in the first place? Well, when I officially started recording videos for my YouTube channel, I'll say that was on the 14th of November 2025. I think the first video I was shooting was a get to know me video. I was just in my bedroom, putting on my cap and just trying to say, oh, this is the reason why I'm starting a YouTube channel. This is the reason to follow me and all of that good stuff. Okay. But I couldn't post that video quite all right because at that point, I wouldn't even say my editing skill was kind of pro. So I spent hours recording and ended up not posting that video. So time had passed. It's been like we've done now November, December, and January. So we are nearly approaching 3 months of I would say active content creation just now. And I just feel like, okay, yeah, this is now a good time to kind of revisit that video content creation again and maybe recreate another video, which we are going to call Get to Know Me video. Okay, so this is a get to know me from me. Yeah, because I know that sometimes in life, a lot of people will know various versions of yourselves, okay, or various version of you. The you that you know, the you that your family knows, the you that your friends know, the you that your colleagues know, the you that the society knows, and just like that. Okay, so but sometimes the world is gradually shifting. Some people, before they exit, they do write like an autobiography, but even without even writing an autobiography now, like I said, YouTube gives you the opportunity to document your existence as well. So, and sitting down and doing like a get to know me video, and it's more like telling people this is me from me. Okay, so and I'm not answering basic questions here because I feel like the basics is always the basics and they don't always change. Okay, I'm not here to start telling you my full name, my home address, where I live, and the things I like. Those are lovely things to know, but they are basic. Okay, so I've gathered 15 questions here, and I consider them warm, quite all right. Okay, and it's more like get to know me and get to know me, the things that makes me core and the things that even inspired me to start creating a YouTube content videos just now, okay, around these topics. Okay, so now welcome to our channel, welcome to EyTrudy. Okay, so the first question I have here would be, what inspired you to start EyTrudy and even choose kind of joyful, human-centered education as a mission? Okay. Now, what inspired me to start EyTrudy? I would say this dates back as far back as, if I could remember, as far back as 2014. Because if I go through some of my archives, my memory archives, I would see videos of myself doing like vlogging. Like I'll see videos of myself. If I'm cooking, I'm videoing myself. If I'm doing things, I just love, I love impacting knowledge. Let's put it that way. So starting this YouTube channel is something that I have always, not to even make it as structured as a channel can be, but just making videos, making content and documenting living, and just maybe even sharing what you know with the world. Okay, in a joyful way, in an educational way, and promoting wellness generally in the world, okay, is what inspired me. And this dates back as far back as 2014, if I remember, because I, I'll tell you that if I look through my archive, sometimes my life looks like a documented memory. I've always, people who know me personally calls me Madam Memory. And the reason why they call me Madam Memory is that even though I'm not putting out videos there, anytime anything major is happening in my life, I'm bringing out my camera, I'm taking pictures, I'm documenting the moments in videos. I'm trying to edit these videos, I'm trying to store them away, even though I don't get to post them out. Okay, so I'll say it's something that also comes natural for me. I just love sharing what I know with the world or with anyone around me. And apart from loving to share, I love to share in a fun way as well. And now, why I even use the concept of, I'll say, joyful learning or adding fun to education. I'd say that I have passed through the formal learning educational phases of life, okay? And what that means is that sometimes I find that education or the formal learning approach is quite mundane and is quite formal and is quite not too much of fun, okay? So I figured that maybe, okay, maybe if I had a means of teaching people things that is fun, like incorporating fun to learning. We learn in various ways. We learn by watching people. We learn by reading. We learn by doing as well. So there are ways to incorporate fun into the learning of things in life. Then I want my channel to be one of those channels that would be reckoned to where you'd come and learn something in a fun way. It doesn't have to be quite formal. It doesn't have to be quite mundane and all of that. Okay. So I hope that answers the question, what inspired me to start my YouTube channel, EyTrudy, and to focus on what I'm focusing on. I'll say the inspiration came as far back as 2014. It's always been there. And I mean, it's been long there. Documenting memories inspired me, basically. Okay. So I love to document memories and I love to share what I know in a fun way with people. And I feel like having a YouTube channel or a channel is one way I can do that. Okay. And the second question I have here, please grab your cup of tea because, hey, this video, I'm taking my time to go over this. Meanwhile, I've not scripted this. I've not answered these questions prior to this video. So I'll read the questions and then I'll answer it just now. Okay. So, and the other question I have here says, can you tell us about the moment in your life that shaped how you see wellness, gratitude, and learning? Okay. I would say that maybe it dates back to when I was diagnosed with something. Okay. I was diagnosed with fibroids. Okay. And that was even before I think I was diagnosed with fibroid. That was, which year was that? I think it's as far back as 2016. Okay. And I asked my doctor, I remember then I was with the doctor. I asked the doctor, was there anything I did that could have contributed to this diagnosis? And the doctor was like, no, sometimes it's genetics, sometimes it's just nature. Okay, I think that point in my life was a changing point for me because what happened is that from that point, I started researching a lot of unconventional ways to live better, a lot of unconventional ways to support healthy living, a lot of unconventional ways to support myself through that diagnosis. But I would even say at that point too, I was also researching how to get rid of it naturally. So that led me to, I would say, the concept of wellness generally, the concept of living better, the concept of drinking water, sleeping well, resting, and all of that good stuff. So that was the journey. That was the point where my wellness journey started. Okay. And I would say my gratitude journey had always been there. I had always lived through life grateful for the things I had. Hence why sometimes one of the popular kind of phrase I have in my life is that if we can love God first and be grateful for what we have, every other thing will be added onto us. It's not even biblical, but some part of it is biblical. But I would say I can't place my hand on a particular year. I would say that I started living a life of gratitude because I feel like I have always been grateful for the little things in my life. But what I could say is that it became more obvious, okay, when maybe I became a mom, okay. I then became grateful for many other things, okay, in my life. So there were more things to now be grateful for. So I'd say maybe gratitude had always been there, but the obviousness of now practicing it as a lifestyle and living it as a lifestyle and being more conscious and bringing myself into routines where I would say maybe I'm having meditation section, I'm having a gratitude walk that would have to do with between 2023 up until now. Okay. So say from January of 2023 up until now. And the reason is because early January of 2023, I had a loss, a personal loss, okay? And as part of the grieving process of that loss, okay, of that experience, okay, I had to now stop myself consciously in a track and say that I am no longer counting my losses. From this point on, I will be counting my gains. I'll be counting my gratitude. I'll be counting the things that are already in my life. I will no longer focus on the things that were not in my life because we had waiting periods in our home. So, and do you even know how powerful this shift could be? The moment I decided I was not going to focus on the fact that we didn't have a child anymore, I was not going to focus on the fact that we had some miscarriages and all of that. I was not going to focus on the fact that we had some failed IVF sections. I was now going to focus on the fact that I am happy that this is what I have in my life. I'm even happy not to be a mom just now. I'm happy I have this time on my table. I'm happy. So that was the time, January of 2023, I started practicing a life of gratitude. I incorporated it into my life as a living, and that changed everything because that same year, that was the year we welcomed our daughter. So, yeah, I hope that answers it, okay? The moment in our lives when we started wellness and gratitude. Wellness started in 2016 when I got diagnosed, and gratitude started practicing it. I've always had it all my life, but practicing it started in 2023 when early that year we had a loss, and then I said, no, I'm no longer wanting nothing. I'm just counting my blessings. And that was the miracle I needed. Okay. So, and the other one says, can you please tell us about one habit that you practice daily that keeps you grounded and energized? It's simple. Let's not make it very long. What's that one habit that you practice daily that makes you energized and makes you grounded? I sleep. Oh, I don't joke with my sleep. Please. I try my best to get enough sleep, okay? And I try my best to get enough sleep daily, okay? So I think that answers the question. That's one definite thing that I'd love to do daily, okay? To keep me grounded, to keep me energized, okay? And I try to practice it daily. I don't sleep in the afternoon. I don't have the time, but my night sleep, I try my best to get this done. And the question number 4 says, can you tell us about a childhood memory that still influences the way you teach or create content today? A childhood memory that influences the way I create content today or the way I teach. What if I said none? I'm not even sure there is anyone that influences the way I teach. Well, I would say maybe the experiences I had growing up, I'll say maybe like my mom, if that's a childhood memory. Yeah, my mom is a great influence in my life because sometimes the things I learned from her or the things I watched her doing, sometimes I use it as example when I'm creating our videos here. Maybe it influences the way I see lives generally. The awareness I'm talking about, the gratitude I'm talking about, I did also see her practice it, gratitude in little things as well. So, is there any particular childhood memory that I can think of just now that influences the way I create content today? I'm just thinking. I can't think of any memory that I can pinpoint just now, but I definitely know that my mom was a very great influence, okay, in my life, in growing up, in the way I see life generally. And I did see her practice most of these gratitude things that I talk about. And I do see her as well being like a role model on many levels. She is a role model on many levels for me. So yeah, if that answers it, okay. About a childhood memory that influences the way you teach or create content. No. I can't think of any memory I can describe just now. That's the truth, okay? Now, question number 5, it says, what is the biggest lesson that you have learned as an entrepreneur or as an educator? Okay. I'll just say that my biggest lesson would be things don't always go as planned. Okay. So what that means is that it's good to have dreams. It's good to envisage what your life would be like. It's good to kind of, you know, dream, kind of, yeah. Because the truth is that you can never be in a future you've never dreamt of. It's good to have dreams, but always know that things does not go as planned. Okay. And what that also means is that if you always know that things might not go as planned, you can now maybe even in your head as you are planning your plan A, you can also plan your plan B, or you can also plan your plan C. As an entrepreneur, whether it is here in the UK, back home in Nigeria, always have your plan B, always have your plan C, okay? And at the core of it all, because you know things may not always go as planned, even if all the plans failed, okay, life still goes on, okay. So I think this is one lesson I've learned over time, okay, in maybe creating things, investing in things, and executing things, okay. So yeah, that's one lesson I've learned, to always have plan B, plan C, and know that things may not always go as planned, okay. And when they don't, you don't kill yourself, you just know that that's life, okay. So number 6 question says, what what do you love most about creating content for YouTube and connecting with the global audience? Um, I kind of love the accountability that comes with this, okay? And I love the fact that it also opens doors for me to learn too. There's so much I've learned between November, December, January, up until now, February, that I could not have learned if I did not expose myself to content creation. So the fact that that exposure makes you to learn is something I love about it. The second thing I love about it is the accountability. I've talked about this before. the fact that you get to document your existence, you get to document your thought process. Say for example, if you had like a vlogging channel, you're vlogging your life, you're documenting your existence basically. Even if you don't have like a vlogging channel, if you had like a sit down video channel where you talk about things, you are documenting your thought process. Okay, the skills, the human skills that you also learn from creating content as well, cuts across communication, cuts across video editing, cuts across working with other people, cuts across many things. So it's more like putting yourself out there to learn more, okay, to be more, okay, and to engage more, okay. So, I think that's what I love about creating content for YouTube, okay. The things I get to learn doing it, the fact that it also makes me accountable, okay, in the sense that I get the opportunity to document my thought process basically on things, on random things that I think about. And sometimes I go back and watch my video, I'm like, oh, this is a lot better than the previous ones you had. And that's, you would see the growth, you would see the improvement, and that's really like a good place to be as well. And the soft skills as well, it teaches you. So I love all those things about it. And more than anything, I just love being a content creator. I just love it, frankly. I love being a content creator. I love creating videos. At my quiet time, when I don't have much doing at my table, I do a video, one or two, and think about things and talk about things. Okay? Yeah, that's it. So that's about it. That's for question number 6. Okay? What I love about creating content. So we now go to question number 7. Tell us about a book, a song, or an idea that changed the way you think. Okay, a song that changed the way I think is this. I'll say it because, yes, it is a bit personal, but it did change the way I see things or think. I'll sing it for you. It goes like this. Do I love you because you're beautiful? Or you're beautiful because I love you? Do I want you because you're wonderful? Or you're wonderful because I want you? So basically what this song rewired in my brain is this. It is the love we give to things. It is us who give things essence. Let's put it that way. Okay? In itself, nothing is so special. It is humans that make them special. It is us that give essence to things, okay? So do I love you because you're beautiful? Or are you beautiful because I love you? Do I want you because you're wonderful? Or are you wonderful because I want you? I guess the answer is simple. You are wonderful because I want you. The moment you stop wanting the thing, you figure out that it's not even as wonderful as you thought it was. It's not even as lovely or as beautiful as you imagined it was. Okay, so that's one song that I heard at some phase in my life that made me realize that sometimes it is us that give things importance. Yeah, it is the attention you give to things, or it is how you value things or love things or uphold things or hold things on high esteem that keeps them where they are. The moment you strip all those emotions around it, you probably realize that it was just as plain as anything else. So I don't know if this is basic, but that's for me. And about a book, okay, that changed the way I think, okay. You see this book here? So the first time I read this book is called A to Z on Well-being, okay. The first time I read this book, it was just at work. So, and after reading it at work, I had to go and buy it myself because I needed a copy of it. You know, like you're just at work. There's a section at work, like a table section where they call like a wellness section. They keep things around wellness there. So basically you can go and take a book and read, or you can go and take something and paint or scribble and all of that. So I picked this book and I read it, okay? And it did change the way I see things, even though I'm consciously already living a life of awareness, okay? But the book also opened my eyes more to read. So I'd recommend it if you want. It's on Amazon, and I after reading it, I bought it for my partner as well, so that he can read it as well. So it would definitely impact you if you can. Or maybe what I could do as time goes on in this video, I could take time to go through this book, create videos. Okay, I might divide it into maybe like ABC. I'll find a way to divide it into a series, and we can create a video on this book. Okay, talk about each section and each topic that is talked about. But it's quite impactful in my journey just now. And it says an idea that changed the way you think. An idea that changed. I am one person that comes across a lot of ideas. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, my brain doesn't rest. Ideas keep spinning and all. So what idea has really changed the way I think? Okay, I think one idea or one exposure that life had given me that constantly keeps me on check and constantly changes the way I see life, or not see life, or the way I function basically, is this: life is temporal. No one, none of us, not you, not me, no one is here forever. Every damn thing is temporal. So the moment you realize how finite our days are, the moment you know how temporal life is, you have to refocus your purpose. You have to consider what is important for you. You have to consciously start practicing certain things, okay? That's why I'm Madam Memory, because hey, life is temporal. Be happy. Forgive. Let go. Live life. Make memories. Stop piling things for a world you probably never get to see. You're stealing phones, you're doing that, you're doing all of that. For what exactly? Life is temporal. So this is one thing that really had changed the way it's an idea. The idea that life is temporal had changed me to the core. Okay? The way I see things. Yeah, because really, life is temporal. There's this video I was watching, and the lady said, an average human being has 4,000 weeks of life. An average human being has 4,000 weeks of life. And I brought my calculator and I punched 4,000 weeks of life, and I divided it by the number of weeks in a year, and I got how many years that was, and I got how many weeks left from, and I'm like, is that how finite our life is? So, if you know that life is temporal, why are you holding all those unnecessary grudges? Why are you being so like uptight about things? Relax, enjoy your life. Be cool, life is temporal. So that's one idea. So I think that's answered question number 7, which cuts across what book I've shown you the book, and what song I've sang the song for you, and what idea I've told you the idea as well. Now, number 8, it says, It says, it says, how does your academic journey, okay, from your BSc to your PhD, how has that shaped your communication style? Okay. Maybe I don't even know. Maybe it is people who know me from when I'm doing my BSc, my MSc, and my PhD, and people who know me now that I'm working. They probably will know how my communication style have changed. But I think if I remembered myself as far back as when I was in secondary school, I think I've always had a kind of a tiny vocal cord. Like, I'll say, like, even if I was to be screaming, my voice still comes across as tiny. Okay? There was a time that felt like, oh, it's like a disadvantage, but over time, I had come to embrace it as this is now my nature, okay? Because there was a time I was doing a presentation, and after I finished my presentation, someone asked me, have you considered singing as a career? I would never forget that, because maybe as serious as my presentation was, my tiny voice was making it come across as though I was just singing or I wasn't that serious with it. So, how has all your educational journey shaped your communication style? What I'd say, apart from my vocal code that makes me come across as though I'm just I would say that I try to explain things from the basics. Okay. I don't even know why I do it, but unconsciously, maybe I take like a research kind of approach or an exploratory kind of approach when I'm approaching a topic to discuss a topic. I want to start from the basics. I want to start from defining. I want to start from maybe numbering. I want to start from the basics to build up a kind of to build up a case. Okay. So I think that's where I would say that without even knowing, it has now shaped the way I communicate. Because if you gave me any topic just now to talk about or to discuss about it, my first definite approach or my first definite, not even knowing when I do it, would be to start from the basics and from the ground up and to build it like a case study or build it like that. And unconsciously as well, sometimes when I'm talking, I like to give illustrations, I like to give examples, and it comes off sometimes as though although I'm talking about a topic, it comes off as though I'm teaching a topic. So forgive me if that happens quite often on this channel as well, but I think that's an impact I've got from researching, doing research a lot in most of my adult life, and from reading a lot as well in most of my adult life. So that means that if I'm approaching any topic, I want to dive in a little bit more and build it up from the basic. I'll give you the definitions and then give you illustrations and come up and come up and come up and feel like, have you understood me kind of approach. So that's it. Now, the question number 9 says, what are the values, okay, that guides my work, my leadership, and my relationships? One value that guides my work, my leadership, and my relationship. Okay. Is it obvious? Okay. I would maybe even say, I think I've said it before, the idea is also more like a value. Okay. So I do know that life is temporal. I do know that no one is here for a lifetime. And how that has impacted me is that I do have some certain things I value personally at the core, and that is honesty. Okay. So I would appreciate honesty, okay, over a lot of other things when dealing with humans or in any relationship. I do appreciate honesty. I don't want to say integrity because I mean, there's always room to be human and all of that, but please, honesty is something I value. So, and this guides my work, it guides my relationship, it guides anything I do as a person. I try to be as honest as possible. And yeah, honesty is something that I value very well. Okay. If I'm in a relationship with someone, whether it is friendship or anything, I do appreciate honesty. I would never come off as someone that is trying to maybe lie or hide things away. Sometimes I might even be too honest that it becomes very maybe unappreciated or dangerously blunt. But honesty is something that if it was a gift, I'd love to receive it from people. I like honest reviews. I like honest feedbacks. I like when people are honest with me. And sometimes if I find myself in a relationship, I want to see that this is an environment where I'm honest. I am allowed to be myself just the way I am. So yeah, honesty, 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 honesty. And that's because I understand that no one is here for a lifetime. And so much happens when we are honest. Let's even start being honest to ourselves, to the people in our life, to the things we do, to the work we deliver. So much happens when we are honest. And in honesty, it opens room for every other thing that could possibly happen, which could be positive or otherwise. So, yes, I value honesty a lot. Yeah, I do. And for some people, they have various deal breakers. Maybe in relationship, people have various deal breaker. For me, dishonesty is my deal breaker. Honestly, yeah, it's honestly because it questions every other thing that we could share or we would have shared. Okay, so dishonesty is a deal breaker for me. So because if you're honest with me, if you're honest about things from day one, or even if something happened and you find yourself you told me a lie or two, but then come back with honesty, I really appreciate that than maybe lying to me. And really, as I'm telling you honestly, I've also been a victim of a lot of deceit and all of that. But that being said, honesty still remains one of my greatest value in life. Yeah, it is. Yeah. So that's about that. And sometimes I do apologize if I also come off very honest to some people that are in my life as well. That sometimes if I say things as they are, they'll feel like, oh, you should have just ika things they go on. No. Bite your teeth. Don't be that blunt or that honest. But hey, as diplomatic as you want to be, I do appreciate honesty. And I'd love it as a gift you can give to me. And you can be sure that if you know me on a personal level, I'd also gift you honesty. I would not come lying to your face. No. Now, the other question we have here is tell us the one thing people often misunderstand about you until they get to know you. Do I even know what people misunderstand about me until they get to know me? Well, I would say that, yeah, I think I know one. I think I know one. There might be a few, but I think I know one. Okay. I think some people maybe think I come off as maybe something the Nigerian people will call an ajebo. Like maybe a girl that is maybe an ajebo, like you don't like to work, everything is provided for you. You are just relaxed, you're just chopping life, that kind of vibe until they get to know me. Okay. So, what I'm saying is that by all means, I'm grateful for the people in my life and the provisions that God had made available through them. Okay, my parents and all of that. But nah, I am not an ajebo. Bikokwa, I'm not an ajebo. And I consider myself a very resilient person. And even, I don't want to say hardworking, even me too. I'm trying to avoid using hardworking for myself again because I've worked so hard in this my life that sometimes I look back, I say, how can a small girl like me, how can I have worked this hard in this my small existence, in this my life? How can I have worked this hard in this my life? I'm like, no, I cannot be using hard working for myself again. I'd rather say I'm resilient. I would rather say I'm intentional about work, but hard working. Even me, I don't want to work hard again. No, but hey, I am far from being anything ajebo. And what that also means is that sometimes people from afar, maybe they think that, because she's abroad, that means she would not be able to do this one or do that one or do that. But when they come to meet me in person, they are shocked because Even those village things, I do it better than them, or I even know how to do it very, very well. Even if I'm not doing it, does not mean I don't know how to do it. You understand? So, because growing up as well, our family, we are quite grounded on chores and house chores and everything. So, but you know, from afar, you cannot change how people see you. They feel like, oh, you have it all at your disposal sometimes, but when they come close, they would also understand that there is no perfect life. And what that also means is that we also get to work. We work quite hard as well. And apart from working quite hard, those things that you think we don't know how to do, probably we do know how to do them. It's just that maybe we don't do them anymore, but we do know how to do them, okay? Because I've had somebody actually look me in the face and ask me, do I know how to wash clothes? Okay? Like, do I know how to wash clothes? Me, I went to a boarding school. So you can imagine that those 6 years I was in the boarding school, nobody was washing my clothes for me. I was doing my laundry myself with my bare hands. So you cannot ask me if I know how to wash clothes. If you don't see me washing clothes now, or if I have not come to wash your clothes now, it doesn't mean I don't know how to wash clothes. It simply means that I maybe choose not to do it anymore. But yes. So I think that's one impression people have about me. They feel like maybe I don't know how to do certain chores. But the truth is that I do know how to do certain chores. Even I've had people had the impression that I don't know how to cook. And I don't know why people will have that impression. Like I said, they feel like you're an ajebo, you have everything at your disposal. But hey, I love cooking. At the core of who I am, I love cooking. And you cannot tell yourself if you're a good cook or not. But if you have eaten my meal before, you can testify. You can testify in the comment section here now whether you loved my meal or not. So I love cooking, and I am a hardworking person, but I hate to say I'm a resilient person, but I'm intentional at work, but not hardworking anymore. Please take hard work from me. I work, but not hard work anymore. So that's about it. The impression people have about you, but when they meet you in person, they will see it otherwise. I think this is it. And now that takes us to the next question, which says, what is the creative process that is behind your videos? How do you move from ideas? How do you move your ideas from spark to scripting? Okay. And to creating the content. Okay. Like I said before, I'm one person that a lot of ideas come to me. I have a lot of ideas, like business ideas, things come to me. Some people, I think, is a gift. For some people, it is a gift that they generate ideas, while for some people, it's also a gift that they execute ideas. So imagine if you're an idea generator merged in a business with an idea executor, both of you, the sky will be your starting point. Okay. So how do I go from an idea spark to scripting to video to content creation? I try to create a structure in my life. Okay. So what that means is that as I go through my day-to-day life, as I'm reading this book, as I'm doing my things, as I'm going, if an idea comes to me, I will just type it on my phone and message it to myself on my WhatsApp, so that I keep that idea and it doesn't leave me and I don't forget about it. So for example, now I had the idea of the video I created earlier today, the idea of family as a foundational of wellness, why your family is important in your wellness journey, why you need to work on family units as well as a foundation of wellness. So I had that idea. Maybe it was, I think it was it something, was it a call I answered? And after the call, I felt so happy. I felt so renewed. Okay. And then I'm like, oh, thank God for the gift of this person in my life. And this is a family member. So I now put that down in my WhatsApp. So what happened is that when I have an idea, I put down the topic or the suggested topic on my WhatsApp. I just email it to myself or message it to myself. Then what happens is that the structure I have is that Thursdays, for now, is the days that I try to do my shooting videos. I shoot my videos on Thursdays. Then I can edit it at any time between midnight from maybe around 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock every day. Okay. So I do work. Okay. But most of the times by 8 p.m., I would have finished working, and maybe by then my baby would have eaten her dinner in her nightwear. She's already ready for the, even if she was awake, she's probably able to kind of manage herself until she falls asleep, because there will be nothing mommy needs to do for her again. Then that's the time I try to edit my videos between 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. or even to 10:30 or even 11 p.m. sometimes. So between 9 and 11 p.m. And I try to do my video shooting on Thursdays. Okay, that's the day I do the video shooting as well. And then on any other day, I can generate idea and I can research idea. So on every other day of the week, as the ideas come, even if I was maybe working in between, I'm researching, I'm reading things about it. I'm trying to explore the topic more. Okay. And about the scripting itself, okay, I would normally prepare my scripts, okay, on the days I do the video as well. But before the official script preparation, I would have gathered enough kind of information to support me to prepare the scripting. Or if it's going to be like an unscripted video as well, I would have read enough around the topic that I'm then able to talk about it and talk about it confidently, and also add value by talking about it as well. So that's about how I go about my ideas. I have one day I shoot, and I have my video editing on every day of the week between 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. And then ideas and maybe preparing the ideas and reading about it can happen any time of the week, okay, as I'm holding my phone, as I'm holding my laptop, as I'm walking around my day-to-day life, I'm reading about it, I'm understanding the topic more, okay. So, and what I do is that for every Thursday, I try to at least shoot 2 videos for every Thursday, okay. So you would know that from Monday to Wednesday, I've done a lot of reading and a lot of data gathering around that as well. So that's how I go about it just now, okay? And honestly, if you know any better way I can do it to make it a lot easier for me, because sometimes I find that if there was any other thing that interrupted my day-to-day schedule in any way, you find that I might not manage to create a video that week at all, okay? If there was any other way to make it a lot easier just now, please, 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 please share with me. I'll be glad, okay? I'll be glad if there was any other way to make. I've bought a few equipments as well, but frankly, I'm just trying my hands on all of them just now, okay? And even the camera qualities as well. I'm trying my hands on all of that to see how we can just maybe make this a lot better, okay, as time goes on, and a lot easier as well, okay? So that's it. That's about it. The idea come, I research about it, read about it. On Thursday, I sit down, talk about it, video it, and then I can edit it any day of the week and then upload it, okay? I've not got to the point where I have videos scheduled for the month. I am hoping to get to that point one day or sometime soon, whereby I would have had like maybe up to 5 or maybe up to 10 videos already uploaded, already edited, and just scheduled to come off at different times of the months, okay? I would want to get my channel to that point at some point, but of course, you know, being a mom, being a full-time employee, and being a wife, juggling life, okay, is not the easiest phase for me just now, but I love doing content creating, sorry. And that means I would love to create time for it as well. But it's not easy for me just now creating the contents and all of that. But when you are doing something you enjoy, you don't give up easily. And the reason why you don't give up is that for me, it's not like a chore. I'm just sitting here chatting with you, my friends. Okay, that's how I feel. Okay, so yeah. Now, I think that's about it. So, but if you have any suggestion on how to make it easier for me, how to make content creation easier for me, how to go about it, or a better schedule that can work for my channel better. Yeah, because when I say if there's an interruption in my life just now, say for example, there was a week that my baby was unwell and we had to go to the hospital. For that week, I did not create any content at all. But if I had already had contents lined up, I would have managed. So yeah, I'll get to that point. So now, the question number 12 is, can you please tell us what wellness means to you at this stage of your life? At this stage of my life, what does wellness mean to me? Okay, I would say that for me, at this stage of my life, a mom to a toddler, a wife to a good person, okay, and just living my life normal. What is wellness to me? Wellness for me at this stage of my life is rest. Rest, rest, rest. And memory, memory, memory. Get as much rest as possible and make as much fun memories as possible. That's for me what wellness means. Okay, so I don't joke with my sleep. I try to get enough sleep. And I don't joke with my memories as well. I try to get enough fun memories as life goes by, document it, do our karaoke night, go out, see a movie, go to the farm, go to the gardens, the basic things of life. Okay, so that's for me what wellness means for me just now. Okay. And maybe as time goes by, as life progresses, and as we have more clarity with maybe a lot of things, maybe we can incorporate a lot of other things. But just now, at the core of what wellness means for me is rest. Make sure I get enough rest. Enough rest, very important. And make sure I make enough memories, okay? And if I was to stretch it a little bit, I would maybe even say eat right, okay? But sometimes the eating aspect is you do the bit you can, because I'm a mom. I'm also trying to make sure I feed my baby well and also my husband. So I cannot just maybe because of eating right and maybe have them not feed well. So you have me, I'll say, I don't want to eat egusi soup. Egusi soup is high on cholesterol, but hey, we want to make egusi soup because baby likes egusi soup and daddy likes egusi soup. So that's why, well, but I can cook it and not eat it, but how long will I cook a lovely egusi meal and not eat it? So sometimes here and there, the feeding aspect of things, you might slack a bit, but if I can get enough rest and make enough beautiful memories, I'm happy. I'm well. Okay. So that's what wellness means to me just now. And at this stage of my life, I know that as life progresses, it might change, but at this stage of my life, this is me. This is what wellness means. And question number 13 says, can you please tell us about a challenge that you overcame that made you more confident and intentional? Of course, this is easy to say, but it was not difficult. It was difficult to go through and it was difficult to experience. And I would say it is the waiting season, okay, of our time. So I was not one of those who got married and immediately got pregnant and had children, okay? So what that means is that I had a period in my life where I was trying to conceive or trying to have a baby, and that was not happening. So it took a turn on our finances, it took a turn on our mental health, it took a turn on our emotional well-being as well. Not because we did not realize that it will definitely happen, okay, at some point at its own pace, but you know, when you want something and you want it. So I'd say that it was a very big challenge for us as a couple. I don't know what else challenges a couple at the core. An African couple, let me use that, because from where I am from, it is something that, well, even without being said, it is expected for yourself, okay, to start a family after you got married and all of that. So at the core of who we are, we would love to start families and have babies and babies and babies and all of that. But But what do you then do when you tried and it's not working? You've tried everything. You've gone to the highest medical intervention that is obtainable or available to yourself, and it still doesn't work. And it's taking a toll on your finances, your marriage, and all of that. So this was a very difficult time in our lives. In my life, particularly, it was a very difficult time. Okay. And it was very challenging as well. Okay. But what can I say? I didn't even overcome it myself. Let's say that God helped us to overcome. Okay. Because I would not say it has to do with my own strength or my own might, that there was something I did particularly that made me to overcome this challenge we had. Nothing really. It was God's intervention, God's timing, God's God's will. Okay, but it was a phase in my life I would describe as a dark phase. Okay, because it felt like regardless of every other beautiful things that you were achieving, nothing seemed to matter except you wanted to be a mom. Okay, so and why have this made me more confident and more intentional? Well, it made me more confident in God and the way God works. Yeah, because I have now come to realize that at the end, it's not even medicine. At the end, it is God and God's will for us, okay? And the intentionality side of things is that I have not seen it as though that it was God's choice for us, and He knew better why He allowed those waiting seasons to happen for us, for me, and everything. So I would just say I'm more confident in God and God's timing. Nothing scares me more. Like, even if you come to me now and say, hey, this one is happening, I'll just say, will of God. Hey, this one, will of God. And also the power of timing. Time heals everything. With time, everything becomes okay. If only we can see the future. But nobody can. So why kill yourself with worries today? Okay? I wish I knew some of those nights that I'll stayed up and I'll be crying and I'll feel so down. I wish I knew that this one day would pass. I would have just been celebrating then. I would have just been like enjoying the moment because I know eventually that, hey, it's going to happen. But we don't see tomorrow. And that's why it's difficult to tell someone experiencing similar thing not to worry because God's timing is best, okay? Yeah, because we don't see tomorrow. But that experience made me more confident in trusting God, in trusting God's timing for me in everything, in every aspect of my life. If it's not happening, it's not yet God's time. If it is God's time, it will happen at His own time, at His own discretion. And I'm happy about it because God, our God is an intentional God. My God is an intentional God. Okay, so I think that experience, that challenge, every details of that experience made me more intentional about knowing God, about understanding God, about believing God, about accepting God's will and God's timing for every other aspect of my life. If I'm praying for something now, if I'm wishing for something and it's not happening, I'm not killing myself. I'm just living in the moment. I'm just making memories. I'm just being happy because at the end, we are only here for a time being. And I'm also trusting God intentionality towards our lives. So yeah, that's it. And the question number 14, we're almost coming to an end. Okay, thank you for staying with us, my lovelies. I hope this video is making you to get to know me a little bit better. And the other one would be, it says, He said, the kind of community, what kind of community are you building through EyTrudy, and why does it matter? Okay, so I never imagined this question would come up, but I think it will provide clarity for me. I'm just seeing it for the first time, so I'm answering it for the first time. Maybe if I reviewed it again and again, I'll have better clarity. But today, if you ask me, what kind of community are you building through the channel EyTrudy, and why does it matter? I would say I'm building a community of humans who are conscious about wellness, and a community of humans who are intentional, who are very, very intentional about living a life of gratitude. Okay? And when we talk about wellness here, we are talking about both our mental wellness, our emotional wellness, our financial wellness, and the world around you, which is also your environmental wellness. Okay? So I'm building a community of persons who would like to know more and intentionally live a well life, a wellness life, who maybe is starting their wellness journey, who had already started their wellness journey, or who is wanting to continue, because wellness is a daily thing. Okay, so that's the community I'm building just now. Okay, and the community also that is also focused on gratitude, living a life of gratitude. And why does it matter? It does matter because in the world today, in our world today, the world is so fast paced. People are chasing dreams. Everybody's chasing something. Chasing. You're chasing that. You're chasing that. Everyone is chasing something, okay? And very few times do people pause to look back or look around and count their blessings. And before you know it, life passes. And you look back and say, where did that 10-year go? What have I done in those 10 years? Or did I spend the whole 10 years just working, paying bills, and being grumpy all through? So this channel is intentionally trying to bring people's focus on the core thing that matter in the existence of this life that we have, which is quite finite. And that core thing is to be happy, to make memories, to live a life of gratitude. Because if you're going to be happy, if you're going to be contented, then you need to be grateful. And if you're going to be grateful, then you maybe end up being happy and making memories and celebrating your small wins. Okay. So it's just like a community that is focused on a mindset shift just now. Okay. So let's stop chasing all those shadows that we are chasing just now. By all means, have a normal life, go to work, start your business, do all that, because financial awareness is an important aspect of awareness as well. But as we are pursuing all those things, can we not forget what matters the most? The fact that we are here for a little while, and the fact that we need to be happy, making memories, living this life to the greatest, counting our blessings, celebrating our small wins, and being intentional about not walking ourselves to stupor. Okay? So yeah, I'm creating a community of persons who are going to be joining with me on a journey of awareness, gratitude, thoughtful kindness, being human, and also being financially smart, because our Money Talk sections will teach you one or two scopes on managing your finances, okay, and being financially smart as well. And of course, I've told you why it matters. Our world is so fast paced that we hardly pause to look around and be grateful. So it matters to create content that would bring people back in tune with themselves and into a state of gratitude and a holistic awareness. Okay? Yeah. And question number 15 says, that's the last one. That's the last question on this, my list here. It says, can you please tell us the one dream you're actively working towards this year? Okay. Well, just one dream that I'm actively working. Of course, I have many. I have many, even though I'm not chasing them like I'm chasing them. No, I'm not chasing them so hard. Like if it doesn't happen, oh no. I'm taking my time with each of them. I'm not chasing them. Yeah, I do have a lot of projects, a lot of dreams and aspirations for the year. But what is that one dream that I'm actively pursuing this year? I'm actively working on this year. Why am I even thinking about it? Well, if I'm to be honest with you, okay? If I'm to be honest, which I promise that honesty is a gift I would always give, okay? And I would love to receive, okay? So you can be sure I'm going to be honest, okay? Yeah, if I was to have like a magic word to make all dreams come true, and you ask me, what's that one dream you'd like to make true come true this year for yourself that you're working on this year? Okay. Frankly, okay, one of the main dreams I'm working on this year is this YouTube channel just now. Okay. I'm hoping that I'm going to grow this YouTube channel over this year, okay, and get a more kind of stabilized with the content creation side of things, okay. So basically, I'm hoping to grow the brand EyTrudy, okay, which is this YouTube channel more this year. This is one dream I'm working on this year, okay. I have various other dreams just now, but frankly, this YouTube channel is on my focal point. It's one of the things I'm actively working on this year that I'm hoping that I'm going to grow the channel, have more community members, have more persons who are actively practicing or living a life of awareness or gratitude just by being part of this community just now. And more than anything, giving a, a bit of myself to the world or to my audience, okay? So this YouTube channel is one of my pet projects, but it's also a pet project that is very dear to my heart just now, okay? So it's definitely one dream I'm working on this year, and I'm hoping to grow this channel more. You would know we are just we've always had this for a long time, but actively content creating started the November of 2025, and we are just trying to grow this channel. Okay, so that's definitely one thing I'm working on this year, and I hope to continue to work on for the rest of the year, and I hope it does grow as time goes by. So yeah, that's it. And if you ask me about other dreams, well, leave that other dreams, because as we are doing them and aspiring, you would also be seeing them. And I'll bring some to this channel as well. Okay, so that's it. Now, that's 15 questions on getting to know me just now. But again, this is me. This is who I am. And like I've always said, uh, my name is Eya, but you do know that Eya is my last name, okay? So my full name is Nwaneka Gertrude Eya Okorafo. So what that means is that I have a very lengthy name, but out of all my names, as I've lived through my life, okay, one name had stuck with me, and that name is Eya. And I don't know how to maybe answer any other thing apart from Eya. Anytime you called Eya, I'll just turn my head, because throughout my schooling days, throughout my life, Eya is one name that has stuck with me. So, hey, excuse me and pardon me when I say my name is Eya, because that's my name. Okay, yeah. And EyTrudy. EyTrudy is coined from my name as well. So the EY is Eya, a short form of Eya, and Trudy is a short form of Gertrude as well, my middle name. So put them together, and that is EyTrudy, the name of our channel just now. Okay. And yeah, as you all know, among every other thing I am or ever would be, I think the greatest role or the greatest identity I currently have is being Ezinne's mom. Okay, so if you want to bribe me, okay, if you want to make me happy when you see me, please call me Mommy Ezinne. I think that will resonate with me over time as time goes by, because I feel like among every role I would ever get to play in life, or everything I would ever get to achieve in my life, being Ezinne's mom was my greatest role and continue to be my greatest role, and I value it and I don't joke with it at all. Okay, so that's about it. Now, that's about the sit down video on Get to Know Me. I know I may have missed some. I may have not talked about every aspect of my life. If there are aspects that you still want to know, please feel free to tell me in the comment section. And if it inspires me enough, I might still do another video to talk about that aspect. Okay, but apart from that, yeah, that's me here. That's who I am, and this is EyTrudy. Okay, and you'll be seeing us for the long haul. Okay, and we hope to evolve with time as well, and over time we'll be more confident to do other things and do other things and do other things, and show you all the documentaries that we have created over the years as well. Okay, so thank you so much for listening to this video just now, and I do hope you have a very beautiful day ahead, or beautiful week ahead, or beautiful morning, wherever you're watching me from, whatever time you're seeing this just now. I'm wishing you a very beautiful day. Okay, and thank you so much. Please, now that you've gotten to know me, Biko Ejo, please subscribe to our YouTube channel just now. Feel at home, be part of our family just now, okay? So that whenever we upload all those our nice warm videos, okay, you would get to be the first person to get notified, okay? And we want to be more intentional about our video and content creating, such that for any time you watch our video, you would learn one or two things. It would not be a wasted time for you. You'd learn definitely one thing from us, okay? So that being said, please subscribe, please like, please comment, please share. And I'll see you in our next video just now. And thank